Welcome back. Let's look at managing the quiz portal. We have looked at managing quiz portal previously. However, there have been some changes which I want to talk about in this video. The other video we've made on managing the quiz portal is still very much usable. However, it's important that we note these updates. Okay, now let's talk about the changes that have been made. So basically, the main change we've done here is adding language functionality or feature to quizzes. All right, now this remain the same. Okay, managing community debates, weekly team, AI settings, what have you in our quiz portal, all of this menu, they are pretty similar with what we have previously or in our previous video. So we just need to take note of the language functionality. Okay, so that is the only change we've done, but we need to understand how to use it. Okay, so we'll not generate English version of quiz for Portuguese or francophones. Now, okay, let's look at adding editing quiz. So I will only be looking at or touching the changes. Okay, we are only touching on the changes that have been made. So every other ones, anyone I didn't touch in this video, they are pretty the same. Okay, so I'm not teaching us how to manage quiz portal. The video for managing quiz portal is still the previous video. However, this video is to tell us about the changes that have been made, which is the language feature, to let us know about it and be aware of it. All right. Now we are looking at adding or editing quiz. You select add or edit quiz under the quiz or BOX18 quiz portal, and then say I want to add a quiz. I will simply enter the quiz title, and all of that. But this time we are going to select the language we want that quiz to be in. Okay, so this quiz is for Anglophones. Okay, this quiz is for Francophones, or this quiz is for Portuguese speakers. So if it's for Portuguese speakers, I will need to select Portuguese as the language here. If it's for Anglophones, I need to select English, okay, as the language. Say similarly, if it's for Francophones, I need to select French as the language there. All right, so that is just what I want us to be aware of. Ensure that you select the right language, okay, and the quiz have to be in that language as well. So it simply means that when you're generating a quiz, you want to set the language to be the same. So if I should go to AI settings right now, the default language is English. So if I click generate with AI, automatically the quiz will generate English. The quiz will be in English. If I want it to be in French and I want to generate from this page, all right, from here. Remember, you can generate from two places. You can generate from here directly, which is under the adding quiz directly, or you can generate from the AI settings. All right. Then if you want to generate from here directly, ensure you select the right language. So if you're in English, you don't need to go to AI settings to update it to English. That is if the AI settings is still in English as the default language. Now, if you want to generate from here, what you want to do is to first go to AI settings, okay? Ensure the language is in the language you want to generate. Okay, so you scroll down, look for language. Okay, ensure you selected the right language here. Otherwise, you're going to end up generating French or Portuguese when you want to generate for English. Okay, so ensure that they are in the same language. Once you've ensure that in the same language, say you want to generate for French, you want to change it to French and then save it. Ensure you save it. Okay. If you didn't save it, then you've not updated it. So I'm not updating that. Okay, take note. Then I'll go back to add or edit quiz. Okay. So I haven't set the language you want the quiz to be in. You can now generate quiz, okay, with AI. Or you can go ahead to manually enter the quiz question, enter the multiple choice, okay. You can add questions, you can manually do this, okay, or you generate with AI. Yeah, I believe everybody wants to be fast, so we want to generate with AI, but we have the option to manually, uh, you know, enter quizzes, which is primarily for editing or updating the one you generate with AI. Because when you generate with AI, you should be able to edit it, okay? So that's why we have this functionality primarily. However, say you have a quiz somewhere, you can manually upload it here as well. All right. So take note of the images. We've talked about that before. So this is for tier 1 quizzes, and this image section is for tier 2 quizzes, clearly defined. All right. Now let's look at AI settings very well this time. Now, whatever language you set here, say we want to, generate for French speakers, okay, francophones, you select French here. Whatever language you select here, you set here, is what this quiz will be generated in, okay? So we have somewhere in our prompt, okay? So you can see this is our prompt, the quiz prompt, which you can edit as much as you like. Take note, when you're editing this prompt, be careful of changing any of these variables. So whenever you see a prompt in a curly bracket like this, these are variables. So be careful not to delete them. When you're deleting them, pay attention that you understand what you're deleting. Okay, and this variable should be exactly how it is. Changing any word or renaming the variable simply means that it will be dysfunctional. Okay, so you have to ensure that you don't update these variables. All right, so if you look at our variable, you're going to see that we have language. So this thing is saying generate exactly a particular number of questions, which is question count, which is what we set here. Okay, so in this case our question count is 10, so it's going to generate. So I'm asking AI to do what? Generate exactly 10 trivia questions about African football. Write every question, option and fact in, you see, then our language. So whatever language we set there is what it will generate in. So we have set it as English, then it's going to generate in English. We've set it as French, it's going to generate in French. So we've instructed AI here to say to generate, write every questions, the quiz question, the quiz options, and the facts, which is the did you know, facts in French. English, Portuguese, whatever language we set. Okay, go generate it that language. Do not mix language, so you should not generate English and French. It has to be strictly that language. So I believe that is clear now. All right. Now, having noted that, we now want to look at updating quiz copy. Okay, since the language, we have language functionality now. You want to be able to select the language you want to update the copy in. So now we have under quiz copy. Okay, say there is a copy we want to update. Here you see that we have option for just English. You can see that. Okay, but we want to be able to change that of Portuguese. We want to be able to change that of French as well. Now, all of these are available under translation. We've looked at translation before, and we are using Polylang plugin for translations, language translations. All right. So if you want to change this, let's say elite level, African football inside out, you want to update this. So what you want to do is change it to whatever you want to change it to. All right, from here. But then you still need to go to the language section, okay, and update it there as well. Now, this is what I mean. When you change this, you've actually changed the English version, all right? But the French and Portuguese version remain the same. You want to update that as well, all right? So we're going to the language tab to update the French and Portuguese version. Take note, not necessarily updating the English because you've already updated the English from here. However, if you want the French and Portuguese version to remain the same as it is, you can only update from here. Now, we know you can always update all, including English, French, Portuguese, all the languages category. You can update their copy from the language section, okay, which is here, language translations. You can update them from here. However, why we have this here as well, which is more like it's kind of redundant, is the fact that we want you to be able to see all the copies at a go, so you can see all of them all at once from here. Okay, all right. So all the copies, and if there's any change you want to make, then we can do that. So take note that if we are updating this, let's say this join free, it takes 30 seconds. I want to update it to something like this. For instance, all I need to do is I just need to copy it. Okay, copy it, and then so I copy, I will save it. Take note, this is join free. It takes 30 seconds. So why I'm copying this is so that I'll be able to search for it in the language section. Now I'll update. Without updating it, it means that I didn't even make any change. Okay, so I've just saved the message from the button, okay, at the bottom of our page. So this is the success message saved. Now I'll go to language, allocate translations, and then I will search. Okay, I'll paste what I copied and then search for it. You can see that join free takes 30 seconds. You can see that. All right. So that is what I want to update. So automatically, what we have there now is now join free takes 30 seconds. That is now the English version. All right. So whenever English version is blank here, this is what is using. However, if I want to override this, okay, I want to set a new English version. I want to override this. I can do that from here. So whenever I set something here, it automatically override whatever I have here. So we should understand that about the language. All right. So if I want to update the quiz, I don't necessarily need to go to the quiz page, especially if I want to update the English version. I don't need to do that. I just need to do that from here. Okay. So remember that it's actually redundant right now. Basically, you want to update them from here, from this language translation, menu or page. However, remember, I've just said that we may have it redundant so that it's easy for you to see all the quiz copies at a glance for anyone you may want to update. That is why that page exists in the first place. So you can always update all of those quiz categories from here. So say I want to change this, I can do that from here. So I just paste, and let's say I want this time to be okay. Then I will update. So remember, whenever we update the English version, the English copy, we want to also update the Portuguese and French copy as well. Okay. So when we make changes there on from the quiz portal, copy and messaging page, make changes there. We also want to update it in the language translation here. So what we can do, instead of going to the quiz, language, the copy here, this copy and messaging to edit quiz copies, we can come here under the language, go to translation submenu, okay, then land you to this translation page. You come here and then select quiz, okay, you see quiz portal, all right, and then filter. So I'm going to clear this so that, but first of all, let that load. I'm going to clear this. I'm going to clear this filter, okay, so that all quiz portal category, but it may not show all of them that exist so far, but we can see many of them, the majority of them. Okay, you see quiz portal, we are filtering by quiz portal. So all the quiz portal languages, those we are going to see from on the BOX18 quiz portal, copy and messaging, all of them or most of them appear here. Okay, so you can update the copy, you can update them from here. So we have about 61 of them. You can see there, that is the total, 61. Update them from here. So come here and update them directly. No need doing that, okay, on the copy and messaging page of BOX18 quiz portal. All right, so it's important that we take note of that. Easy to update. Just a recap. Go to languages, okay. At the bottom, towards the bottom of the page, you're going to find language. Go there, locate translations. Okay, so on the translation page, once the translation page load, we want to filter. Okay, now we want to update quiz copy, so you just go to quiz portal and then you click on the filter button. It will filter only quiz portal group, okay, will appear. Now you may want to still do filtering for any other group, so it could be for live score. So I want to update the copy for live scores. I just need to click on live score and then click on filter. I want to do for single article, footer, maybe something exists in the footer, something exists, so I can filter, okay? I can filter by groups, different groups. It's very important to note that. So for quiz portal, it's not this quiz portal filter does not exhaust our list. We have quiz portal messages, we have quiz portal push notification. Okay, so this part is different. So we need to take note of the different groups. So this will show us majority of what we have in that message and copy and messaging. Okay, while quiz portal messages will show us the messages under quiz portal. So let's see that. So these are some of those messages. We have that first one I say just play inside the box. Some of those messages, you see them here. Okay, so you want to filter by that. And then another thing is push notification. It's under push notification. The messages we see in push notification. All right, which title is live, think you know Africa. The same message you find here. Same message you find under push notification, under the news portal menu. The same message, you see that. So at this juncture, we are done with managing, quizzes. Let's now look at managing community debate. This is still under quiz portal. All right. So for community debate, just the obvious changes we've talked about is the language. We've added the language, feature to it as well. So when I want to manage an existing community debate, I just need to click on it. Say this one, who is the greatest of all time? I just need to click on it, okay? And then I'm able to change whatever I want to change. So I can update this copy, okay, as much as I like. And we've already looked at that previously. So what we want to look at is the language. So ensure that you select the right language, okay? So if I want this community debate to be in English, I'll select English language. If I want it to be in Portuguese, then I have to select Portuguese language, okay? And then if I'm selecting Portuguese, I want to ensure that this question is in Portuguese. These options are also in Portuguese, okay? But when it's somebody's name, of course, you don't need to translate that, all right? But sometimes the question could be something that, it's English, not somebody's name, not a name. Just ensure you're using the right language. So when the question and options are in Portuguese, then the language is going to also be in Portuguese. When the question is in French, options French, then language have to be French as well. All right, so that is the important thing we need to take note of. All right, so let's now look at adding new community debate. Similarly to updating an existing community debate, we can add new community debate. Now the difference is simply that we are adding new one. Okay, so the same way we would have added community debate from our previous video, so we've touched on that before. We're already looking at the language. Now ensure that you use the right language. I know I'm emphasizing this, okay? Just all you need to do is, after entering your questions, select the right language. So if we look at the all community debate, we're going to find out that we have one in English and the other in French. You can see that. So this is in French. As you can see, the question is in French. And then you can see that the language is in French as well. So that is to say if I'm creating a community debate and I have a reasonable number of English community, French community, and Portuguese community, when I create a community debate for English community, I want to duplicate that community debate for, French and Portuguese community as well. I don't want to leave them out. Okay, so I want to duplicate it for them. So, however, we don't have straight direct duplication. Okay, here. So, what we want to do is just translate it. It doesn't take time. This is community debate is just the question, okay, and then the options. Okay, 4 options, could be 3, could be 5 options, maximum of 6, minimum of 2, and then select, enter the question, just translate, and then publish. That's all. Okay, that's all. Now for quizzes, say we have a quiz for English and we want to also have the same quiz for Portuguese. We want to translate as well. There's no direct duplication because even when you duplicate, you still need to translate. Okay, so that's why we don't have duplication option here. This is not like post where polylang you can use auto poly to translate. To translate. Polylang does not capture custom built features. This BOX18 Africa is custom built. Okay, so Polylang cannot actually update or translate anything under the BOX18 Africa this quiz portal. All right, so we should take note of that. You could translate posts. Those are WordPress options. Okay, those are WordPress native features. Custom built are not will I say noticeable or manageable by Polylang. So Polylang cannot even see, they don't recognize some custom built, In a nutshell, custom built features like quiz portal, BOX18 quiz portal is not recognizable, does not communicate with Polylang. Okay, does not communicate with that. Polylang is language translation, so it doesn't communicate with a language plugin, and as such cannot translate custom built features language. Thank you for your time. See you in the next video.